Hello my friends and welcome to the 18th class in our writing course. Today my friends, and after we have finished talking about words and we classified them into content and function words, and we classified content words into 4 classes: nouns, adjectives, verbs and adverbs, then moving to phrases which are classified into noun phrases, adjective phrases, verb phrases, adverb phrases and prepositional phrases, and then moving to clauses, and we classify them into independent and dependent clauses. Then we move to talk about sentences, and we classify them into simple sentences, and we said that a simple sentence is one independent clause, while a compound sentence is made up of 2 or more independent clauses, while the complex sentences are made up of one or more dependent clauses with one independent clause. Today, my friends, we're going to start talking about paragraphs. We're going to classify them into 4 classes, and we are going to define them one by one, and then we are going to dissect each type in depth in isolation. And as we started before, my friends, talking about words, phrases, clauses, sentences with the theoretical part, then we have solved some exercises related to them. Today, my friends, from now on, we are going to start with the theoretical part of paragraphs. In this part, we are going to talk about parts of paragraphs. We are going to discuss each part in isolation. After that, we are going to classify them into 4 types of paragraphs. After that, we're going to study each type alone, defining and explaining. After that, we are going to start our practical course, into which we are going to write some paragraphs together. Now, my friends, let's start our class today. In here, my friend, we are going to start with what is a paragraph. Generally, my friends, a paragraph is a group of sentences. Generally, this group of sentences, we can say that it is between 4 to 10 sentences that develops, this group develops one main idea. So, what is a paragraph again? A paragraph is a group of 4 to 10 sentences that develops one main idea. Again, my friends, one main idea and one main idea and one main idea, because this is the biggest mistake our students make generally in TOEFL, IELTS, proficiency exams, and the others. When they write a paragraph, they mix more than one idea, which makes them lose their marks. We are going to discuss these points in isolation, and we are going to solve them one by one. Now, my friends, what are parts of a paragraph? Generally, a paragraph is made up of 4 main parts. The first one is called the title, the topic sentence, the body paragraph, and the concluding sentence. Again, my friends, why do I have to start with the title? Because the title is a part of a paragraph, and it's an important part of a paragraph. Generally, writing a good title encourages the reader, who is the examiner sometimes, to continue reading, and using inappropriate titles can affect our marks or even the desire of the reader to continue reading. Now, my friends, let's start discussing the title. In here, my friends, I would like to discuss the title from 2 perspectives. The first one is the formative one. I mean here the form, the grammar, and on the other hand, I would like to discuss it semantically or in terms of meaning. In here, let's discuss the most important traits of a good title grammatically. For both paragraphs and essays, a good title as a form, number 1, must be placed in the middle of the line, 3 lines from the top of the page. Generally, we have a page, normal page. When we want to write a paragraph, you can see the lines of the page. Generally, my friends, we count 1, 2, the first 2 lines are from the top. In here, my friends, the first 2 lines of the page are preferred to be blank, and we start writing the title in the middle of the third line from the top. Some students ask me if I can write, for example, in the fourth. It's okay. The fourth line is okay too. But generally, we start from the third one. So we keep two lines from the top of the page blank. Then we start writing the title in the middle of the third line from the top. Number two, a good title should not be enclosed in quotation marks. As you see here, quotation marks, my friends, should not be used to write a paragraph. And generally, I have seen hundreds of students enclosing their titles with quotation marks. Generally, my friends, quotation marks should be used in the body paragraph, not in the title. Number three, my friends, a good title should not be ended with a full stop or a period, dot, or point. All of these are nominations for the same thing, which is the point here or the full stop. A lot of students, as you know, when they write their titles, they end it with a full stop, which is wrong and cannot be accepted. Number four, shouldn't be underlined. A lot of students think that underlining the title of the paragraph makes it a little bit attractive and, let's say, attention catching. But generally, my friends, it is not allowed for us to underline the title. So please don't underline it. And here, my friends, number five, all content words. As you know, that in the title is a group of words. So there should be content or function words. Generally, all content words, nouns, adjectives, verbs, or adverbs in the title are capitalized, which means the first letter of these words should be in capital letter, regardless to their position. If the content word comes at the beginning or at the end of the title, it should be capitalized. Generally, here, my friends, while function words, meaning articles and the prepositions or conjunctions, generally, my friends, those are not capitalized, especially when they come after the first word. And in the last item here, my friends, if the title begins with a function word, in this case, this function word is capitalized. As you see here, my friends, I would like to discuss these three titles. The first one here, A Journey Inside the Intriguing Castle. As you see here, all of the content words, a journey, noun, intriguing, adjective, castle, noun, all of these words are capitalized. The other function words here, as you see, those are not capitalized, and the article is capitalized because it comes at the beginning of the title. In the second example, my friends, we have the word that, which is an article, a function word, but it is capitalized because it comes at the beginning of the title. We have the words amazing, best, holidays. Those are content words, and those are always, as you see here, at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of the title. All time should be capitalized, while function words like those words are not capitalized because they didn't come at the beginning of the title. Now, my friends, let's talk about the second perspective of a good title. A good title, my friend, as a meaning or semantically, should be concise, which means, my friends, that as we said, I think in the 14th class, that the word concisement refers to use the appropriate number of words that gives the full message. And here, my friends, try to write a brief and short title we shouldn't exceed the number of words and make the title boring and long. And the concise here means it could capture the essence of the paragraph. Generally, my friends, a reader should understand the whole paragraph from its title. So the title should be concise and gives the whole idea of the paragraph. And number three, my friends, free from extra and unnecessary words. As you know, my friends, using extra and unnecessary words makes the title long, which is not desirable generally in English. Especially English is a blunt language, and English readers try to avoid repetition. In here, my friends, accurate. A good title should be accurate and can reflect the content of the paragraph. Generally, my friends, you cannot write, for example, a paragraph about fishing, and you use a title about smoking. This is a little bit illogical, and here shouldn't be misleading or confusing, because if you write a misleading title, the reader is going to be confused, and he or she will not enjoy reading. Number three, specific and general at the same time. Generally, my friends, when we write a paragraph, the title of the paragraph, as you know, represents the introduction and the conclusion of the paragraph. That's why the title should be general, that refers to the meaning, the whole meaning of the paragraph, and also it should be specific, not to be confused with the other perspective of the same topic. For example, when we want to talk about smoking, we have millions of ways to talk about smoking. We could speak about, for example, how to make cigarette, or cigarette trading, or advantages of smoking, disadvantages of smoking, so that we can express the same topic in millions of ways. That's why the title of the paragraph should explain which perspective we are going to talk about the topic from. And here, my friends, we have relevant, again, as I said before, accurate and relevant. In here, my friends, it should talk about the same topic. You cannot, again, for example, write a title about living abroad, and your topic is about, for example, the international relationships between countries, or it is about disadvantages of, let's say, disadvantages of smoking. In here, my friends, it should be engaging, which is my favorite trait in a paragraph. Generally, my friends, if a title is engaging, it can attract the attention of the reader, so that the reader is going to ask about the topic. We need a title that intrigues the reader. A good title, my friends, is engaging, which means that it provokes the reader's curiosity. Last but not least, my friends, a good title should be informative, which refers to the ability of the title to give the reader an idea of what information they are about to read. Generally, my friends, from the title, as we said before, the reader should understand what he or she is about to go through or to explore. Well, that's it for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this class and you learned something. Again, my friends, those traits of a good title are very important, and they should be taken into consideration. In the next class, my friends, I'm going to take few examples, and I'm going to discuss whether they are good or bad titles, and we are going to know how to choose our title carefully. Again, my friends, if you don't understand the point in this class, please, my friends, try to replay this video again. Try playing some Kahoot games which are related to our topic today, the title of an essay or a paragraph. Thank you again, my friends. See you in the next class.